From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Any Liberal wanting to run to replace Justin Trudeau as the party's next leader and Prime Minister has just hours left to decide.
Anyone looking to take a shot at the Liberal Party's top job only has until 5 p.m. today to declare they will run and submit their paperwork to the party. That means the field of contenders is almost set, barring any last-minute surprises. Candidates also only have 4 days left to sign up members who can vote in the race in March. The Liberal caucus is huddling on Parliament Hill today and tomorrow to talk next steps, and leadership hopefuls are looking to wine and dine Liberal politicos in the capital to gain support in the race. Kyle Duggan, the Canadian Press, Ottawa.
So far, the only candidates who've submitted the required 300 signatures and $50,000 deposit to officially run are former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, former Central Bank Governor Mark Carney, and Ottawa MP Chandra Arya. The federal government is expanding its use of artificial intelligence to clear a backlog of Phoenix Pay System transactions as it transitions to a new platform. Alex Benet, Associate Deputy Minister at Public Services and Procurement Canada, says his team will be able to share a recommendation with the government on whether it should adopt the Dayforce system as its new human resources and payroll platform by the end of March. Until then, the government's working to tackle a significant backlog of transactions. Saskatchewan's premier says he's not straying from the Team Canada approach in responding to a looming tariff threat from America's newly installed president. Scott Moe and other premiers met virtually with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau yesterday to discuss Donald Trump's threat to slap 25% tariffs on all Canadian imports to the U.S. next month. Moe says he's all for pushing back against any imposed levies, but he doesn't want to see Canada react with dollar-for-dollar counter tariffs.
The broad-based counter tariffs are escalating. The entire conversation around tariffs will be hurtful to Canadians and will be hurtful to the entirety of North Americans and ultimately to that North American energy and food manufacturing security that we want to achieve.
Moe says the country needs to work together to de-escalate these conversations around tariffs. The Trudeau government has spent years touting its efforts to make tech giants pay up, but now Canadian Press reporter Rob Westgate tells us 3 pieces of federal legislation could be targeted by the new Trump administration, particularly Canada's digital services tax.
The tax imposes a 3% levy on the revenue foreign tech giants make off of Canadian users, with a hefty retroactive pay due in June. Now, Donald Trump signed an executive order on his very first day back in office, pulling the U.S. out of an international effort to establish digital tax rules. Experts say the order's wording suggests the U.S. will go after all countries that have implemented similar taxes, including France, the U.K., and Canada.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Neil Pionk scored 17 seconds into overtime, and the Winnipeg Jets edged the Avalanche 3-2. Connor Hellebuyck stopped 25 shots for his league-leading 29th win on the season. About 70 of Adam Fantilli's friends and family had prime seats for the biggest game of his NHL career so far. The 3rd overall pick at the 2023 draft scored a hat-trick, powering his Columbus Blue Jackets to a 5-1 win over the Maple Leafs in Toronto. Fantilli hails from nearby Nobleton, Ontario, and had dozens of supporters in the stands.
It means the world to be able to do that in front of my friends and family. Everybody made the trip out.
In the Professional Women's Hockey League, the Boston Fleet thumped the Toronto Scepters 4-1. The NBA's Toronto Raptors had the night off, and they'll take on the Hawks tonight in Atlanta. Last night, Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored a career-high 54 points to lead his Oklahoma City Thunder to a victory over the Utah Jazz. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.